Hey guys, Happy New Year. With a new year comes new projects. So I wanted to give you a little rundown of the projects that we have for this year in our home. And if you are interested in following us through our journey of home projects, please subscribe to our channel and like this video if you want to see more. So the first thing that I want to show you is our little room. It's attached to the house but not permanently attached to the house, if that makes any sense. When we bought this house, the previous owners built this little room, and I think they used to cook in here, but then we had Hurricane Florence and it destroyed it, and our insurance didn't pay for it because it was a big back and forth situation. And so we were going to tear it down, but then we decided to keep the frame of it and then just do the inside. So as most of you know, we've been on our debt-free journey for a really long time. We fell off the wagon and we decided to use materials that we already have. And as you can see, my husband started this a couple of days ago, and we are using our fence. The pallets, or not the pallets, the boards are fencing. If you've seen my previous video, or if you haven't, I will leave a little card up on top so that you can see our backyard tour that I did when we first moved here. And during Hurricane Florence, even though it didn't tear down our fence, it did warp it. And so our acreage, I think we're on a 1.21 acre. But the previous owner, what they did was they didn't fence the whole property. They only did a portion of it. And after the hurricane, and you'll see some of the fencing in a minute, after the hurricane we decided to tear it down. And when we do our taxes this year, we're gonna put some money aside and have our fence done, but it's gonna be a little bit different, and you'll see the process when we do that. But we decided to use the boards from the old fencing to do this room, and I will show you the process or the progress when my husband is able to do it, because he actually works. He's at work right now, so he couldn't do anything today. But this is the room here. So this here is our, where are we at? These windows here are our living room windows, and then this room is right off our little kitchen area, and this is the room. And it held up very well. We were surprised, but instead of tearing it down, we decided to keep it so we can have a room. And what we're gonna do in that room is just I'm gonna put some plants in there, and it'll be kind of like a mudroom, sort of, because there's a sink in there that I wash our Cocker Spaniel in. And we use this little canopy that we've had forever, and it's actually kind of broken a little bit, but it still works, and we sit out here sometimes. And this Christmas, one of our neighbors were giving away these lights, and they're plastic, and so we strung those around. And then there's Christmas lights here, which is really pretty, and we're gonna keep that up. But that's what we're doing. And me and one of my boys knocked down some of those boards for my husband the other day. And this is our fire pit, and the little fire pit that's in it we also got for free from one of our neighbors. We are actually looking into buying one, and they run around $46 around here, and she was giving it away for free, and so we picked it up. It's a little old and dingy, but we really wanted to get something really small, because this fire pit here is it's a very nice size, but it's too close to our house, and I'm a little finicky about making fires in there, so that's why we do the little fire pit on the inside of the bigger fire pit, because it condenses the fire, if that makes any sense. We had our granddaughters over here the other day, and it worked out perfect. And this is part of the back patio. One of the reasons why we wanted to tear down this building at first was because we wanted more patio room, but we're gonna use it, and It's not the ideal thing that I would want for our backyard, but we're gonna use what we have and it's perfect. So all this will be redone, and this is one of our persimmon trees. I love this tree. We don't ever eat any other fruit off of it because sometimes the squirrels around here get it before we can use it, and we're not really sure what to do with the persimmons. And I wanted to show you one of the ideas that we're going to do here. These posts, we're probably going to keep a few of them up and put some wire fencing along it to run along and use those as tomato for our tomato plants. So we're just going to use what we have, and obviously it's not going to be permanent, but we're going to try it this year because we don't really want to spend money on wood or any tomato stakes or anything. And I was talking to my husband about it the other day, and he said yeah, that would be perfect. So we're going to put the wiring across, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But we normally use it to do a little fencing for our little Cocker Spaniel over here, over by the porch. And he's going to build like little plant stands next to this. But most of these are going to go. But I'm going to pick a spot and figure out which one I want to do. And I forgot what kind of tree this is. But this one here is another persimmon tree. And this is our entire yard here. If you can see, it comes all the way around. And I think our property line goes to where this pine tree here is, and then it runs all the way down here. And here is our little pile of wood that we're probably gonna do a little bonfire tonight with it. And here's some of the posts, and that's all the fencing that we had taken down. We had this huge pine tree back here, and I think you can see it in one of our other videos, but we had that cut down. And the neighbor who did it for us, he's moved already, but he couldn't cut it all the way down because if anybody's familiar with this area, we have ants everywhere. And there was a huge ant pile on that underneath on the base of that tree, and he couldn't cut it. So we didn't get that far. So our property line comes all the way back here. Isabella, come here. There is some trash back here that I want to have picked up, and I can't find it now, but not sure who did it. But I guess when they were building the house or the materials, oh, here it is. They came back and they dumped all this trash back here. And I would like, if you can see here, there's like a painting pan and a bunch of plastic. And I'd like to pick that up. My husband doesn't really want to do it, but I think if I can get one of my boys back here, we can do it together. But this is the end of our property. You can see here the fence line. And here's some of the fencing panel that we have to burn or do something with it. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this lattice. Maybe I could use that for the tomatoes instead of the wire. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But it would be pretty if I paint them white or something, I think, or a pretty color, just to have some color in our backyard. And here's the wire fencing that I was telling you about. We were going to use that, but now that I see the lattice, we might use the lattice if it fits. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out, I guess. And here's all the wood from the pine tree. We had 2 pine trees cut down, and I believe this is from both of the trees. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. It's been a while. But we might offer to our neighbors if they want it, because it would take us forever to burn it. One of our other projects is this shed back here. We are going to declutter it. And my husband is going to use this as his little workshop for now. And most of this is going to either get donated or chucked in the trash or the dump, and then the rest will go in the garage, which we will be cleaning out. It's not a very big shed, but he makes there's a lot of sawdust in the garage, and we have a workbench there, and it just gets really messy and cluttered. And there is no power back here, but he can run a cord. And then we had talked about making him a platform here where all this wood is at. Once it's gone, make a platform here where he can, I guess you would call it like a porch, a little porch or something, and he can put his saw out here and work out here, and then the sawdust can go wherever it needs to go. But it's all going to be a work in progress. And this is our little swimming pool, which I hesitated to get because I've never had one of these before. We've always had those big aluminum, big, huge above ground swimming pools. And we went ahead and bought this this summer, the beginning of the summer, so we did pay full price. But what I really wanted to show you is our crop circle here. This was originally where we were going to put the, I think it was like 30 by 40 or 30 by 30 swimming pool, above ground swimming pool. And we ran into a snag because our septic tank is really huge, and I guess it has like these pads, or I don't know, that run underground, and we actually hit one. I forgot the technical term for it, but so we couldn't put the swimming pool here. And just thinking about it, we figured we would just get this little tiny one, which is big enough for the kids now, because it's only really the two younger ones that swim. Our teenager isn't really into swimming, and so that really saved us a lot of money. And so now we just got to figure out how we're gonna fill up the hole in this. But that is our projects for the backyard for now. Okay, this is our garage, and it's pretty messy right now. But we're getting rid of a lot of stuff in here. A lot of the stuff that's in the shed is going to come in here. And as you can see, there's a lot of my husband's woodworking stuff over here on this. He just bought that piece of wood last night. So basically, he's just going to take the woodworking stuff to put in that shed. So it's not going to be like all his tools and stuff. It's just going to be anything that has to do with him cutting wood and stuff. So that should fit. And we have to get rid of this office chair. I'm getting rid of my bike, and then one of our kids outgrew this bike, but some of it needs new tires, so we're just gonna put it out on the curb and see if anybody wants it. And some of this stuff is gonna go. We normally would stick our Christmas tree up here on top, but we bought a bag actually yesterday, and we're gonna put that and put it up in the storage room. And I'll show you that later in another video. But that is our projects for now. So it's going to be the garage, the shed in the back, and then that little room that I just showed you where he's using the fencing for the walls. So if any of this interests you, if you want to see the progress and what we're doing and the transformations of these rooms, you know, and are curious about our journey, and we're just using what we already have or what we can find or get donated to us by, you know, people giving away stuff. I will show you that as well. But if you're interested in those type of videos, that's really what I'm going to be concentrating on for the next several months. So I'm doing and I'll explain this in other videos, but I'm doing like series every quarter. So this quarter, for the month of January, February, and March, I'm doing these makeovers. It's the 3 rooms, or the 3 buildings, or the 2 rooms in 1 building. And so those are the kind of videos I'll be showing you, and you know, a budget video here and there. But if you're interested in following our progress or would like to join us on our journey, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, leave a comment below if there's something that you want to see or better explain that I didn't explain in this video. And that would be it, I think. And okay, well, you guys have a wonderful New Year's Day. And I think today is, or this video will be posted January 2nd of 2020, which is funny because that's my favorite number, 222, 222, in case you wanted to know that random fact about me.